I just link or I hashtag the media announcements whenever I go live. That way people can find it. I don't have to poke Amphi every time that I need her to announce it. Let's see.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I'm actually thinking a bit myself, see how it goes.
It's pretty fun. I mean, I guess it just kind of depends half the time. Hello.
Hello. Well, I took Jax off a lead.
Wait, hold on. You talk Jax off a what? A ledge?
ledge.
Oh, god damn it, again.
Yeah, so I can scout them later.
God, okay. We have to talk about this issue and you wanting to scout people all the time. You're making a habit of it. You're making a habit of it.
Okay. The only psychiatrist on the island is Diesel.
Are you serious? Son of a bitch. Alright.
He's a bit of jack of all medical trades, it seems.
That's wonderful to know.
And then you've got that priestess of Venus that's around.
I've seen the one that's building a temple in the south, right? Okay, I actually saw her on a couple of times. Usually it was a little bit later, so it didn't seem like most people were on. But I've flown over her place a couple of times, but I think it was disguised, so I think I scared the shit out of her, and she, like, kept her distance.
Sorry?
The temple person, I've only seen her on a couple times, usually very late at night, and every time that I've been by her place, I was in disguise, you know, all black crap and my griffin. So I think I scare the crap out of her every time I fly over. So I've kind of kept my distance, because, you know, I just don't want to startle her or anything. Usually, an all-black griffin with the all-black armor, you know, hood, mask, and the whole shebang. It's not the friendliest sights. Let's see. I think I moved most everything off the boat. I was sitting here looking for my Pteranodon. I forgot to put her on the freaking roof. Yeah, that's all the way up there, so. Here. Oh, right. I left everything on the, Argent. Probably clean that up.
I do that a lot.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of stuff on here. Because I was moving, yeah, I was moving things from the boat where I was keeping all the supplies. And I was going to bring them back to my place since I didn't technically need it anymore. And I kind of forgot.
So what's your plan then, once we've kind of got confirmation that stuff's calmed down and we can get over to the clinic? Are you actually coming over with us?
That's the plan so far.
That should be cool.
Me and Fiend were kind of talking about what the admins are planning to possibly do, so we can keep, you know, stuff going for the next 3 weeks, because that's about how much time we have now. And I fucking access for this. That one. There we go. I was suggesting, you know, since people are still, I guess, a little skeptical to PvP at the moment, or just kind of trying to relax, and we've calmed things down, to do some kind of PvE event, but it being like some kind of common enemy or something. Maybe I have no idea enough about the lore to make any kind of suggestions, but I imagine they could do a
I've got an idea what they could do. I'll let you know in a second. I'm just seeing Meg
yeah.
come out.
But there's like because I know you mentioned at one point there were like aliens and whatnot. So imagine having a bunch of like the what are they called? The defense drones or whatever, just like spawn around the place, like attacking people, and maybe having people come to defend each other, stuff like that. That could be fun.
And it'll give people a reason to congregate at other people's locations for a little while after attacks or during attacks. Or...
That was the main thing I was thinking. That also
they had the Defiant last volume. I don't know if they would have followed us, but there were a group that were kind of rebelling against these aliens that were around. The aliens were mostly good, I guess, but they had a bit of a weird feel to them. They called themselves the Observers.
Oh.
So... okay, let's try and find Amy.
I pulled the tent off, didn't do that. Right, I need more grappling hooks. Probably fix that issue. Oh, the narcotics in here.
That'll be fun.
Checking my ammo supply right now, and I'm quite loaded. All right. Do that.
I know that there is a pack leader of something down there. I don't know what it is. If it's a dog, I want to fight it, but if it's an aloe, I'm fucked.
What's the
It's an
okay?
aloe.
What's the rational part of your brain telling you to do?
Fight.
Oh, is it? Okay. I was about to say whatever the rational side is, just do the opposite.
Well, there's an egg.
Egg.
It's a patchy egg. Or packy, whatever the fuck they are. It's fucking something. There's a dog. There's two dogs. Get the shotgun. Oh, fuck off. There's a bear. Nah, fuck that.
What happened to the flamethrower? Did you run out of ammo? Wonderful. Yeah, Hyenodon packs are not fun. I should know. I was chasing an Argent one.
Oh no, I broke it fighting rat.
I was chasing an Argent once to knock it out because it was a really good Argent, but I didn't have we didn't have like X arrows or anything. It was like the normal Trank arrows, or I think I had I think it was Trank arrows. But I was chasing it, and I had to land to shoot at it, and eventually I managed to knock it out, and there was a big pack of Hyenodons nearby who I had to fight off with a primitive shotgun. And it was a really good primitive shotgun because every single headshot did 222 damage per pellet. But it was also a big hyenodon back. They were kicking my ass for a little bit. Let's see. I'm looking at the wrong thing again. That wasn't one of the presents, but it was in the bag.
Tentacle porn!
Oh no, OBS, please stop this. No lag, no lagarino.
OBS, no lagging. OBS, no lagging. Kind of like the swipe,
Yeah.
no swiping thing.
I just watching it like spike up into the red again. I lost about 900 frames in the last 12 minutes. Yeah.
Ooh.
Hopefully it behaves. I had a notification on Discord. Guildmaster was asking for my email. I have no idea why.
Probably to send you some details.
Yeah,
or
something
stuff
like that.
about the trip.
Cause it's it's still September, so I'm not leaving until October 30th. That's when my flight is. I get back.
Okay.
Fuck. I think the 6th. Yeah, I think the 6th is when my flight is. So it's about a week.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I'm sitting here painting armor. I'm picky.
It's okay. I'm taking Emmy to see Barney. I was just making sure the route there was safe because it's usually blocked. Taught her how to coax the Purlovia in and out of the ground too.
Alright, let me see my Gmail. Oh, barcode email. Right, I forgot about that. Because in order to get BlizzCon tickets, we had certain people pay for a large portion of them, and then we basically paid them back. But we had everybody sitting in the queues together, so whoever got through was given the payment information, so they could have one person pay and buy like 4 tickets at once. And we luckily got like 16 tickets, so
Nicely
yeah.
done. Is this fully grown? No.
I forgot barcode emails came out today. I think I got the color palette that I. Not very original, but whatever. Oh, which buttons? As my textures pop back in, they look like a horrible blob at the moment.
Oh, I hate it when that happens. If you go into your first-person camera sometimes and the models don't load properly, they're all like super scuffed.
Yeah, it's kind of doing that to me right now. I'm not sure what's up. Like, I'm seeing my tattoos through my armor.
I've had that. If you take your armor on and off, it should fix that.
Yeah, let me just do that for every piece because it seems to. Alright, that looks to have fixed it. Alright. Get my bow. And now I just need ammo. Alright, I might have too much ammo. Oh, it's the armor that's wearing me down. And the tent. I shouldn't be. I have a tent equipped that I keep forgetting about. Water's full. Alright.
I just got bitten by a snake. Holy
You-
shit. No, Amy, run!
Are you out?
I'm out, I'm dead.
Oh my
even.
god. I cannot leave you alone.
Oh shit, it's turning on
I
her
cannot leave
too.
you alone for 5 seconds, I swear.
Stevie's dead. No!
Stevie?
What the fuck are you idiot doing?
We went out to see the fucking allosaurs. I should have fucking.
Well,
You
if
are
I
at
had,
fault.
And then she's
oh boy.
down.
I'm heading out that way, but there's no way I'm gonna get there in time.
Oh shit. I told her to run, but she kept trying to fight it after I went unconscious, so I was just like,
Yeah,
no!
you don't really fight snakes, you just shoot them to death.
Yeah, I did. That's the. Shit. Great. It ran off at least.
Are we adding that to the in-character injury list for the day?
I'm gonna have to mention it a little bit. Maybe she just passed out from the bite, but.
What's that tappy jar again? Yeah, it's the really bright red with black as the secondary. It looks really nice. Hate that it's low level. Also, for some reason, whenever I restart OBS, it never consistently keeps the desktop audio and the mic audio in the same position because they may swap positions, how they're stacked or something. So I look, and anytime I talk, I can see which bar I am, and it's either on the top or the bottom, and it throws me off every time.
We're overlooking it. We just had a quick OSC
All right.
chat. Minus Stevie's death.
All right, I'm gonna probably mute because I'm pretty close to you guys now.
Sound muted. Microphone muted.
Huh.
I'm sorry, Henry. I may have taken Amy to see the allosaurs, and then, well, this
Oh.
bloody snake ate Stevie.
Oh. Not good. But you're both alright?
We're fine. Mostly, I think Amy's just upset, and understandably.
It's never easy to lose an animal.
Would you mind taking her back into the main cave? I'll get over there myself. I should be okay.
Alright. A ugly red one.
Oh. Right, let's get it back quickly. I need to see
Okay.
to this.
Yeah, Amy, just slide down. I got you. There we
I'm gonna
go.
have to get you to drink some
All right,
very nasty tasting stuff, but it'll make you feel better, okay?
just come hop up on my bird here. He's pretty nice.
Right, I'll be there as soon as I can be.
Don't strain yourself.
Trying.
Here we go. Yeah, let's get you inside. Oh. Jade.
Yep.
I
What's
think
up?
she fell over.
Oh shit. Set her on one of those chairs. I'll be down in a moment.
Alright, just right here. There you go. How are you feeling at the moment? Yeah, snake bites will do that to you. Trust me, it's I've had my few share of experiences with them. It's not fun.
Okay, it's not gonna be deadly, and the little wound you have there will heal quickly enough. But I'm gonna have to have you drink this, okay?
Kinda like the outfit that I went with. Consider making the plates white, but the plates up on the
It's
shoulders.
gonna smell and taste very,
Yeah, the shoulder
gross,
plates
but it
don't
will
have
help
a
you.
color palette for some weird ass reason, so I can't actually paint them, so they're gonna stay the same color no matter what. And I don't know. But I mean, it works. Take it nice and slow.
Okay. Don't. Once it's when you wake up in the morning, you might have a headache. A really bad one. So let me or Riley or Jackie know. Oh,
Oh, well. This is why I keep my doors the other way.
there you go.
I don't like them closing.
Mm-hmm. Amy, that's well, okay? I'll see about getting you a new Jerboa.
Well, that was quick.
I'll have Riley look at her while she sleeps. Or preferably Jackie, actually. I'm not gonna hear the end of this.
You didn't know. Can't really, blame yourself for that.
The antivenoms we use here are pretty powerful, so she should be fine. If a little groggy.
How's your new
Groggy.
teeth, by the
Maybe
way?
Just sit down a second. Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Sound resumed.
I didn't have enough to replace, so Diesel gave me those ones.
Almost like you never lost teeth to start.
That's nice of you to say.
Well, I mean, if they work, that's all that matters.
Mouth's a little sore though.
I imagine. Sounded like it. Could barely understand you most of the time.
Well, I was getting really annoyed.
Yeah, I got that much when you decided to, not use your words anymore.
Actually, I need to take some of these antibiotics he gave me in one moment.
Of course.
Okay. I'm gonna go check on Amy in a short while, but I'm gonna relax for a little bit. I was hoping the trip to and from the Aloes wouldn't have been so dangerous, but once again I was proven wrong.
You seem to make that a habit at this rate.
I seem to have what? Sorry, you can stammered or something?
Oh, I was just saying you kind of made a habit of getting into trouble.
You should have seen me in the in-between. This is actually surprising.
Yeah, Riley mentioned that you had a lot more problems before.
I could list them off, but I'd be here for a while.
Yeah, I don't know of anybody as injury friendly as you. It's not yet.
Well, I'll give you a small list. The first day I arrived, I was spat on by a Dilo.
Ooh.
My house was torn down by a Ferrazino. This is all in this first week of arriving and in between. The first time I met Riley, I had fallen off of my parasaur after being gassed by a group of mad people and fractured most of my ribs. Another injury was when I was shot by the kingdom and treated by some very strange looking child. Lots of child doctors, actually, now that I think about it.
I've noticed that pattern.
Jackie stitched my arm together after I was mauled by a pack of direwolves. That was not fun. Luckily, they decided my mammoth looked tastier than I did, and well, that's why I'm still here.
So what I'm getting at is that you've probably broken most of the bones in your body at one point or another.
And I've been bitten by just about every poisonous creature on and inside and outside of the in-between, I think.
Yeah.
Snakes, spiders, leeches, jellyfish.
Sea scorpions.
Lots of jellyfish stings. Sea scorpions, that one was new. I've never seen them before. And then, well...
Well, you've experienced it now. You can add it to the list.
The least pleasant actually.
Yeah, I had a run-in with one of those back at the Viking Bay. I did not know that they came up that close to the surface here. So yeah, one of them bit me while I was running from some dogs, and luckily I managed to climb up a rock in time. But yeah, it thoroughly knocked me out for a little bit.
Hmm. I'd imagine if I wasn't uh, so stubborn, I don't think I would have woken up. That beach was crawling with big, big, nasty guys. T-Rex, at least two of them. A pack of aloes that ate my horse, and at that bloody Uteranus. I did manage to shoot that though. That didn't get away with scaring my horse away.
It was a good thing Jackie flew out there quickly enough. By the time I was at the waterfall, you guys were already on your way back.
I had managed to get on a rock, I think. I woke up near some rocks and some water, and then I remember throwing an egg at someone, and the rest of it's kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, I've had, you know, a couple experiences here or there, but most of the time I've surprisingly all right for the most part. Though I did have issues with Pegos stealing from me almost all the time back in Eternia. That's why I kept my shotgun close. Anytime I even heard a sound that I thought was a Pego, I immediately turn and shot. Frustrating, especially when I'm sitting there gathering, you know, materials to build with, and then they come over and they snatch the tools out of my hand and run off into the woods. It's like, alright, well, I need that.
I lost my GPS to one of those bloody
you
things.
were telling me about that, because I had to lead you to Riley.
And then... And then the in-between, I think I lost more GPS than was made, nearly. I remember a friend there, look, unfortunately he hasn't come through with us, I think. But I remember a friend there was fed up with me not having any GPS, so gave me 6
Oh, wow.
at once and said keep hold of them. So
Let me guess, you
I was
lost all of
carrying
them.
around 2 GPS at one point. No, actually was stuck around because Riley taught me a trick of keeping berries in my pockets, and they seem to like those, so.
Oh, yeah, I guess that works. Have them steal something that you don't really mind losing.
It's usually the best way. But I did try to tame one a little while ago, but it just kept running away after it stole the stuff I was giving it, so.
Yeah, I think at one point I was out getting metal for the tavern that I was building, and one of the Pegos nearby decided that it liked all the shiny rocks and decided to try and run off with some, and realized that it was way too heavy for it to, and I immediately shot it.
I can only imagine the look on its face.
Yeah, it was kind of looking at me like it had regretted its life choice, and I helped it along. But I think at one point while I was out, and it's like probably really early on, when I first came to Eternia, there was a beach not too far off the coast from the island that I was building the tavern on. And I used to go there for wood and thatch and, you know, just very basic materials because I needed a lot of wood for my tavern. That's, I think, the main material I was using. Either way, I go up there and my boat's just really small. It's kind of like a raft with a bunch of boxes to help carry everything. So I don't have to get too far away from the coastline. I just go up and cut down some trees. I didn't notice that there was Xeno a couple feet away in the bushes when I started cutting down one of the trees, and he properly allowed me to be introduced to his claws. As in, he cut my chest practically wide open.
Ooh. I used to really hate those things until recently. I had more trouble with Ferrozinos in the in-between than I've had with any other type of animal. As I said, they pulled down my first house for me. Two of them just attacked the parasaur I had outside and then proceeded to tear my house down. Luckily, someone I became rather fast friends with there, a man called Argus, he was passing by on his Diplo at the time and managed to stop them from getting inside and at me. When they get angry at you, they really don't stop, do they?
Yeah, they seem to be very territorial because I didn't even know it was there. But to be completely fair, it was nighttime, and I didn't have a torch. I was just getting wood in the dark. So I guess that one was kind of on me for being a little reckless. But it was right against the water, so I wasn't expecting anything large to be nearby. Normally they're not.
And yeah, my biggest problem, apart from those two, were Dilos and the occasional raptor that came down to wander. I ended up moving to somewhere else, also by the water. I did a lot of swimming and fishing and diving back in the in-between, but not so much anymore. So the jellyfish were the other bane of my life. At least the life of the creatures I had held in the water for a while, until I got a... What do they call those whales? Basilosaur?
Basilosaurus?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know if you saw this when you had treated me before.
I had, but I was more focused on keeping the others from bleeding. Though they mostly seemed to stop by the time I got to you.
Yeah, believe it or not, I got that from a juvenile Spinosaur.
Juvenile? You should see Jackie's. Maybe one time he'd show you across his stomach where he got tossed aside by a Spino. And he's very lucky to be alive, actually.
Yeah,
It's the reason he's so paranoid. All the turrets, all the walls, yeah, that's...
At least he's, safe. For that part, ignoring all the going out on his own stuff.
Oh, he seems to be learning that lesson now.
Yeah, we had a talk
going off of what you
recently about that, so hopefully that's finished. But
oh, hopefully he listens to you, because he never listened to me when I brought that up.
But yeah, I showed Riley that wound a while ago, because I can't remember what we were talking about. It might have been, I think, something about my home country, but back there, they train Spinosaurs at a very young age, because they use them for just about everything. Transportation, their guards, their war mounts, they're just about everything. But the young ones that they had at the time, they're just as deadly as they are when they're big. They might not be able to crush you by stepping on you, but their claws are just as dangerous. And I was trying to get away from one, and it got its claws stuck in my shoulder as I was trying to pull away. So it kind of cut all the way across. It did not feel pleasant.
Oh, speaking of Spinos, I had one back in the in-between, for a short while, anyway. I don't think it was that intelligent, however. It was knocked onto a set of spikes I was using to defend my walls by a Diplo, and it just kind of stayed there. I was asleep at the time, and I was told when I woke up. like most people, sleep pretty heavily, and well, you wake up to seeing a dead Spino on your walls, and you just not something I want to see again. Really, I felt really bad. There's this beautiful emerald color with a purple sail.
Oh, yeah, it's a kind of a rare color. I don't think I've ever seen one like that.
Mm.
The one that I have over at my house is also fairly unique to color wise because it's mostly like a
that.
slate or kind of a gray, and it's got this smaller red undertone to it on the sails as well. I think the sails somewhat white at the same time, but it's yeah, it's really pretty. She's pretty strong too. I've taken her out pretty much just about everywhere. Everything ignores her unless I tell her to attack something, which case she generally gets it mauled to death within seconds. Might take her fishing.
Reminds me of my Ferrazino, actually. Balda. We saw her at the lighthouse there. So I'm thinking of changing the names of my animals. Like that beating seems to be a bit of a message, and I'm gonna learn from that.
Hopefully the message sticks.
Pride got me a new set of teeth. Speaking of my pride, I think the only thing that kept me alive was my armor, actually. I didn't see the damage, but I'm lucky, I think. Ivar really wasn't holding back.
And you pissed this guy off how exactly?
Well, I had had enough of people putting the gods' words in their mouths. Usually because everyone assumes they think they know what they're thinking, and it's never really proven right. I mean, look at what happened to Ragnar, right? But well, I called him out on it, saying I think he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, and that maybe he should watch what he's saying, and that goaded him over. When he arrived, I carried on, and I may or may not have brought into question the honor of his family and his name, and yeah, that's when he challenged me, and to keep my own honor intact, I accepted. So here we are.
Yeah, I imagine pissing off people who are, very fanatically devoted to their religions tend to not end very well.
Well, I'm quite devout myself, but he's clearly more sensitive than I am.
I mean, I have a goddess as well, or a deity, but
You mentioned the Spino? You had pictures
the
on your walls.
mother of all Spinos. Supposedly, at least that's what the how the story goes. She's supposed to be a deity of mercy and compassion. But
Well, my experience with Spinos, they don't seem to show an awful lot of mercy or compassion. It's interesting.
yes, my home country is a lot more different than most places. Spinosaurs there are actually fairly tame. They will even let people hand feed them from time to time. They tend to just do their own things.
There was in between the kingdom of Nosoroga, the people that were part of the mess that happened there, they they raised Spinos, a lot of Spinos. In fact, everything they rode into combat was a Spino. And well, I was taught a healthy respect for those creatures very quickly. In fact, my Spino came from their breeding stock. They gave me it to defend myself when I was still on good terms with them.
Yeah, they're quite vicious animals when you anger them, but they're also very good companions from my personal experience. I don't think I've ever ridden one that hasn't bonded with me in some kind of way.
The the one I had for the short time I had was very protective, very protective. Uh, Even so far as to like snap at someone when they even slightly raised their tone at me. So
Oh, yeah, that sounds very devoted animal.
they trained them quite aggressively over there. Um, Understandably so. We weren't exactly polite when things started to go downhill. Though up until a certain point, I may have ended up on that side of the conflict. If it wasn't for Argus turning coat and trying to help us, well, them, Riley and
Oof.
Jackie, and the others,
Yuri.
I might not actually have been sat here. Would have been on the wrong side of Marcus. So.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not a good idea. I think you figured that one out pretty quickly.
I saw him fighting a little, and I'm glad that I was on his side when he was
He
doing it.
scares me half the time.
Though, having seen Riley fight too, she has a lot in common with him.
That somewhat wouldn't surprise me, but I'll have to see that sometime.
Well, we weren't fighting over people, it was animals in one of the caves we were exploring, but
Oh,
just as fierce.
yeah, we went into a cave not too long ago. We just couldn't get very far because we were kind of underprepared. We had plenty of ammo, but we didn't have grappling hooks, so we couldn't actually safely get very far. And I think at one point, while we were backtracking out, I bumped into a scorpion that I didn't see in a bush, and he managed to knock me out for a couple seconds, but I think everybody was able to keep me safe.
I hate poisonous animals. They don't even try to kill you. They just sting you and leave you, and you just hope that they decide not to eat you when they do it.
Well, at least you're not awake when it's
Especially
happening.
if you're alone. Oh, very true.
So,
But we're a little morbid to think about.
well, I mean, as long as you don't wake up when they're like halfway through eating you, because at that point, you kind of just wish you were. Sorry for putting that thought in.
I'd rather not think about that, really.
Yeah, I've had my share of experience with poisonous animals, mostly snakes. I don't know what it is about snakes, but I could be hunting something completely different, and then out of nowhere, they'll just slink down a tree or over a rock. I won't even hear them. They'll just be right up on me before I know it, and they'll grab me in the leg or something. Usually I can fight them off.
Snakes or ants, it seems.
Yeah, I either fight them off or I manage to get somewhere safe before I pass out. And at one time, though, I got really caught off guard. I was riding one of my trikes at the time to get, I think it was just a stone that was nearby, so I wasn't very far from where I was. And never heard it coming, just out of nowhere, there was a snake right on top of me, just several times. And I actually got trapped against the wall because I couldn't get away from it. So he was able to bite me a lot, and I forgot to bring my weapons. Luckily, by the time I had passed out, my trike had managed to kill the snake on its own. So I managed
I would imagine something that heavy stamping all over it would do a quick
Oh
job.
yeah, he I woke up and he had practically gored the snake on his horns. So I was very happy I took him along.
I remember I was out just outside my walls. I had a small compound set up for my fishing raft and everything. But I was outside the walls for a moment and I got attacked by a raptor, which I managed to knock unconscious because for a while I was only carrying a crossbow with sedative arrows, so I wasn't really fond of killing anything. I'd just knock it out and run away. But I decided I might try and tame the raptor. I gave it food. I was caring for it, looking after it, making sure it came around, which it did eventually. And after I got it inside the walls, I went outside to collect some of the material that I'd left outside, and a Troodon
Oh boy.
bit me. But it just I fell unconscious pretty quickly, but it just kept running around me as I was passing out, and I woke up and it was still just running in circles. I don't understand those things sometimes.
Yeah.
It ended up running away from me.
That's maybe it had some kind of weird ritual it was performing on you. Maybe that's why you're so accident prone.
That's why I guess. Great minds
It
think
seems
alike,
like it.
huh?
Yeah, I've not had good experiences with them either. But luckily, you can see their eyes in the dark, so you can know when they're coming.
Yes, I actually rather like that about them, other than it being a dead giveaway of where
And
they
also
are.
very
It's
frightening.
kind of pretty. I think it's kind of pretty, but maybe that's some weird malfunction in my brain.
Maybe that's the Troodon
why
venom
it-
talking.
Maybe. That's why I like the megalosaurs so much. The people call them sleepers.
Oh yeah, the nocturnal animals.
I have 4 of them back at the clinic. I had intended to hatch one while I was out here, but I decided against it.
Well, we should be going back before too
Yeah.
long, so maybe you can hatch a new one then.
I hope so. I rather like them. They're, especially when they're asleep, they're rather cute, actually. Though I found this gorgeous one. We were exploring some caves. Well, we'd gone down there to find one. I needed a male to help with the breeding line I was setting up, but we found it almost the instant we got deep enough into the cave to find them, and it's this brown and black, but with this shock of red, like laced into its scales. It looks almost like it's covered in blood in a way. It's kind of intimidating, but we were going to use them as night guards for the clinic because they can pick up some pretty heavy things actually. So
Yeah, I haven't really
Yeah,
seen them too
it's
much.
in the mouth.
Oh, okay.
they won't bite unless you tell them, luckily, but they'll grab hold of you and just kind of hang you there. No, the wild ones we were trying to get, Jackie was picked up by one, and if it wasn't for the chest plate he was wearing, I don't think he would have made it out of that cave.
Oh. Yeah, I don't see them very often.
They're
I
intimidating.
think the one cave I flew into, which was like, it looked like it was nighttime permanently. It was just so dark. But luckily the cave was like huge, so I could fly my griffin through it. So I just,
Sounds like
I
one.
flew through and I could see them on the floors below, just curled up asleep at the time. I just kind of flew around, just seeing what all was all in there. I got lost about 5 or 10 different times because I couldn't figure out which way was up and which way was down and where I was.
Near the castle.
Yeah,
right?
I actually.
The swamp just outside.
Yeah, I actually I came in through a different entrance and I actually came out that exit.
Ah, interesting. We found some near the coastline. That's where we found our first one. That's where I found. Apparently, Ferrozinos really like kibble made with their eggs.
That,
And Riley wanted to raise Ferrozinos, so
I think that was why we had one back at Marcus's place, because I think he mentioned something about wanting their eggs. Because we had one that was sleeping next to the feeding trough outside.
Serena apparently really liked them. I met her once, like I said, and only for a short while. She seemed nice enough.
Yeah, I met her back on Eternia at the time. It was a very interesting meetup for the first time, because it's also the first time I met Marcus. I was running over on the beach and everything, and he was straight across, and came up to me at the time and was asking for directions. I had just currently been running away from some flying ants, which were now honing in on the back of his skull. And
Oh no.
I quickly warned him, and he found out as soon as the first one bit him, and he was not very happy with it, but we managed to kill them both. And yeah, he was grateful, of course, and asking for directions, but unfortunately I had no clue where I was, so I couldn't be of much help. And then Serena came over and was talking, and then they started talking, and then they started arguing, and then I just kind of backed away slowly until they didn't know I was here anymore.
I met them both separately. Serena first, I believe. Or was it Marcus? Might have been Marcus. He was. No, it was definitely Marcus. I was near the what they called Lockport. There was this rather impressive looking building built up and along the side of a cliff face, and he was asking what I was doing, but after I was washed up, I couldn't speak for a while. I don't know why, but so I was just kind of nodding or shaking my head to his questions, and he seemed to get frustrated rather quickly with that, and just said goodbye and ran off into his little town he had. So I decided I would head back to my place, which wasn't that far from Lockport actually, but well, I ended up moving. But before then, I'd met Serena, and she kind of wandered up and asked me if I was okay. Mentioned that Marcus had told her about me, and was asking if the shack that I had built at the time was mine. So I sort of nodded and said yes, in this very croaky kind of hoarse tone. At the time, I just gotten my voice back, and she was like, "Oh, well, that's a shame," and then just walked away. And I was like, that was why I said she seemed nice enough, but she had this sort of edge to her that kept me on edge.
Yeah.
You could say.
Sounds about her.
But that was the first and last time I met her. So, at least while she was awake.
Most of the times I meet her, she's usually probing me to ask if Marcus was cheating on her with someone. So that was general. I was basically just being questioned almost all the time about what Marcus is up to, and half the time I don't know what Marcus is up to. Marcus is doing whatever Marcus wants.
I was gonna say, I don't think Marcus knows what Marcus is doing a lot of the time.
It doesn't seem like it.
Especially recently.
I mean,
he seemed a lot more coherent in the in-between, and now that he's here, well, understandably, he's not all together.
yeah, he's here, but he's not really. I think Serena has something to do with that. He doesn't seem to be very functional without her. Which is surprising, given half the stuff he does.
I'm worried about him, and mostly for Riley's sake. She hasn't seen him in a long time, or even heard from him. So
Yeah, I mentioned to Riley that when we get back to the clinic, we should possibly either go up to him, up to his place, and see if we can rouse him, get him to, talk, maybe even possibly get him to move back in with Riley, just so we can keep an eye on him, make sure he's alright and everything.
Mm-hmm. That had been the intention at first, while we were getting ready to set up and set out to where we were. But he changed his mind at the last second, and well, you know more about that.
Yeah,
than
I
do, so.
might be partially to blame for that, because he once I started talking to him, he seemed very intent on finding Serena, and at the time I was very intent on, helping him out, because I hadn't seen him in a long time, or at least it feels like a long time. I still don't know how long it's been.
I don't know. He didn't really mention it, other than when we were at Victoria's that time. He hasn't really mentioned much about it, the past. Though he did go on about how he won a war single-handedly an awful lot.
Yeah, that sounds like him. I think most of his stories are war stories. And that doesn't surprise me, because he seems to think that he's a god half the time, not being able to be killed and just being practically unstoppable. I almost feel like it's just a fluke and he just gets really lucky.
You should have seen him in the in-between. He kept getting into Riley's medication supplies.
Yeah, she mentioned that at one point.
You think he had you think he had or has a god complex now? You should have seen him when he was on some of the drugs he was getting hold of. He just didn't care. He'd get shot or hit or blown backwards by something, and he'd just keep going. He was like a machine. I honestly, at times you were believing him, just maybe he is.
That would be the thing, wouldn't it?
And then I heard he blew his own legs off or
Yeah,
something. And
that's
one of those aliens you heard about here.
yeah, that story still doesn't make a whole lick of sense of me, but Riley says it's true, so I'm guessing it is. I don't know. He shot a rocket from a rocket launcher at his feet. Why? I don't know. Maybe he was thinking that he could just, propel himself somewhere with it or something. I don't know. He sounded like he was out of his mind.
Well, this alien, the aliens, we called them the Greens. They wore shiny armor that was often painted green. Not very inventive, but anyway. They had some fascinating stuff. This armor that could propel them through the air like they had wings, but no wings, and rockets on their boots. It was interesting. And guns that shot what looked like light in small balls.
That's...
I was hoping to try and get a hold of one to have a look at it, but I never really asked.
Yeah, that sounds very strange. Yeah, I have never really even heard of half of the stuff that Marcus talked about when I came over here. In fact, a lot of this stuff's still somewhat new to me, including the electricity.
That's, well, where I'm from. When I'm from Earth, we seem to have been taken from different periods of time. Electricity was still relatively new. It had been around a while, but not everyone had easy access to it. It did some of our lights at home, and that's all really. But we weren't very rich. But I was told a lot of very rich people had some interesting stuff with it, like these radios. Though never had a handheld one before arriving in the in-between. A lot of the radios we had back on Earth were rather large. But then Jackie tells me these small devices about the same size as the radio, maybe a little smaller, that had a library's worth of information on them and lots of other stuff. It's rather interesting.
Hmm.
He's from 100 years ahead of me, so.
Oh. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, we can't go back to Earth, though I don't really want to at this point.
Imagine you've gotten quite used to being here.
Well, half the stuff I do here, I would be disallowed or be told not to do, and severely punished for doing so if I did it anyway.
What do you mean?
Quite restrictive towards people's rights. Women were often kept as more house pets in a way. It's a weird way of explaining it, but do the housework, do the cooking, the cleaning, the sewing, the stitching, the
So what did
certain things were women's jobs and certain things were men's
so what did
jobs.
the men do, I guess?
At the time, there was a war going on. All men were war fighters, industry workers, police, doctors.
That's highly unusual.
There was a lot. Though, I'm happy to say, though as dangerous as the in-between and here is, you seem to be less restrictive on what we can do, so I'm rather happy about that. Though I would do a lot of things that my mother would very much disagree with anyway, just to get at her. And father would encourage me a little bit, taking the guns out and going with him on hunts with the dogs and that sort of thing. Until the war happened and he and my brother went away for a while. They came back very different people.
Imagine being thrown into a conflict at a young age like that just kind of changes you a bit. So Riley and Jackie seem to have adapted pretty well.
I don't think they've adapted as well as most people think.
Well, if they haven't, they hide it very well.
Riley came out here to avoid everything, to get away from it all, and it still followed her, and she was hoping the adults would take over, her words, but no one did. And then when I had finally gone back from my little trip, they had decided to lead everyone again. Maybe it's the name. She is an Eastwood, after all.
I told her that she clearly had the respect of most people on this island, even if she was faking knowing what she was talking about half the time. That respect was still real.
You have your hands in people's blood, and you save their lives, and people seem to gain a respect for you. I helped save Kira back in the in-between. I helped save Jackie and a few other people. This was before I really knew what I was doing. I've been learning.
Well,
But with all my training for crafting, I've forgotten or not had time to learn anything else.
well, clearly you haven't lost your edge because you kept me alive for a while.
Poisonings are actually somewhat easier to deal with than most other things. It's the broken bones and especially ribs that you've got to look out for.
By the way, how are your ribs feeling? I imagine they're still pretty sore.
Yeah, I've been, well, apart from when I was running to get back in here, I've been moving slowly, keeping things less strenuous than I usually would. No working my forges, no working anything that requires a lot of movement. Just fine work and, well, relaxing to avoid causing any more damage. I remember in the in-between, I decided I might go for a swim while I had my fractured ribs,
Oh.
and that was a very, very stupid idea. I learned that very
Yeah,
quickly.
you kind of need your ribs to swim. Even if they're not, a direct portion of movement, they do help you stay upright.
It was not just that, just the pressure on them from the water wasn't very comfortable. Though you wouldn't think I when I was diving with the whale, uh, the pressure would get immense. I never really experienced that much before. I usually fish from boats, so when I was taking the whale down and gathering pearls and that sort of thing, uh, I was hoping to start getting some angler gel back then, but I was put off by going a little deeper than usual and seeing a giant squid,
Oh.
and I thought I'll stick to the surface.
Yeah, almost a pastime tradition of mine to go diving deep into the oceans with my Spino. I mean, deep all the way down to the seafloor, and we'll gather up pearls and clams, and we'll hunt some of the scorpions and the anglers. We fought off a mosasaur once as well when it got too curious about us. Managed to kill it, or I think made it drive it off. I can't remember really. But we tend to avoid the Tusos because I don't like them grabbing my Spino and keeping her in place.
They, I saw one in the in-between, apart from the one I saw from a distance, and it was during our escape, when the Greens were powering up this machine to transport us here. This Tuso came from the depths of the ocean, swam right near the shore, and grabbed a Diplo off the beach and just pulled it into the depths, and never saw it again. That was all hell broke loose towards the end there. It was chaotic, actually. Giant spiders and huge crabs with these crazy people sat on the back of them chanting and threatening our lives.
I was told that you put a bullet through some people riding those things at one point.
Oh, yeah, there was a rider that was, it had someone pinned in a corner and getting very close, and I took the shot and shot him clean off the back of the thing. Riley says I shot him through the head, but I wasn't sure. I was too panicked to really realize, and I still think about it now and again. It still doesn't really settle with me. But then I realized it was either that person or an ally, a friend, so...
Yeah, when it usually gets down to that, you don't really have time to think, and most of the times you don't think, you're just trying to save people. You just gotta get it done. Doesn't matter how it happens.
I've only shot another person, and that was by accident. Not a flattering moment. I was taking aim at a Dilo, and it spat at me. I got its that awful stuff they spit in my eyes, and well, my shot went wide and shot him clean off the back of his mount. I'd invited him to come see me, and you can imagine how worried he felt when he got off the ground and he had a new hole in his arm, and
OBS quit.
me cursing and yelling at this Dilo just slightly further up the beach. It was an interesting night, to say the least. I didn't even know he was there.
Well,
He was on the back of a Megatherium even. I don't know how I missed seeing him, but...
Well, just put it this way: you can't be worse than Jackie. He shot someone by accident while trying to shoot a dinosaur that was chasing them, and I don't know how you miss a shot like that.
I saw that. The Troodon chasing
Yeah. Yeah.
Torbjorn, wasn't it? Yeah. I had words with him after that. He seems to not have listened too well. We were being attacked just outside by a terror bird. I hate those things. Anyway, they had me pinned in the corner, and he was still firing the shotgun into the corner with me. And luckily, he managed to put down the bird, but some of those pellets landed awfully close to my legs, and
God damn it. Uh,
I swear one of these days he's gonna hit somebody he actually cares about, and he's gonna eat himself up.
yeah, when we went to the cave together, luckily Jackie was in the lead with his shotgun, and I was sitting all the way in the back with my rifle that you made me. Just in case his shot went a little wide, I wanted to make sure I was very well spaced from him.
Knowing our luck, that shot would have curved around somehow and hit you anyway.
I'm surprised that nobody clipped nobody else, because I think I was the only one with a rifle. Everyone else had their shotguns, and most of them were kind of clumped up in the middle behind Jackie. Jackie somehow didn't get shot.
Hmm.
I don't know how that happened either, but just pellets were flying everywhere, and I'm sitting in the back just hoping that none of these hit me. It was an interesting experience.
I've been cave exploring with them a few times. Luckily, most of those involved me being behind them.
It's probably the
But
safest.
both Jackie and Riley seem very, 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 very favorable of the shotguns they have. Riley especially likes the one I made her more recently. I made her it as a gift to replace one she lost, and she says it's one of the best she's ever used. I get that quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, so far the weaponry you've made me has been pretty good, and I can't complain about the armor either. It's kept all my insides in, so
I'm happy that the armor works, but I hope it works better than the weapons. I'm not very keen on making weapons, actually. Something doesn't really sit right. I'd rather make stuff that helps people live rather than helps people kill.
well, most of the time I use it for animals because my cabin doesn't have walls anywhere around the place, so a lot of the times I'll dismount off my bird trying to get it into the cage, and Carnotauruses will wander into my yard and start trying to tear down the birdhouse. I have to quickly use the
Those are the things with the really tiny arms,
yeah,
aren't they?
they get their name from their horns on their heads.
Oh.
Yeah, they like to charge at people, and I quickly managed to put them both down with the shotgun you gave me. It was very, very helpful.
Oh, good.
A worse shotgun might have taken a lot more ammunition, and my armor probably would have taken a lot more beating to it.
Well, in a way, I suppose the firearms are helping people stay alive too. It's just, I would hate to hear one of my weapons got in the hands of someone and then they use that to kill someone I care about. I don't think I could forgive myself for that.
I mean, you simply make the tools. You can't, tell people how to use them. They're gonna do what they want with them. You just gotta, hope that everything goes well.
Make sure they get into the hands of the right people, I suppose, too.
I guess whenever you're going around and people are trying to, I guess, wanting to have you craft things for them, probably ask them a couple questions. You know, what do you plan to use these for, and stuff like that. See if you can get some kind of answers. Just to make sure you're, you know, you're selling your stuff to the right people.
I've usually been a pretty good read on people, and most people I've sold my equipment to have been, well, yourself, Marcus, uh, Fenris, and Kira. A good amount of people I know I can trust. People I've known from the in between. But there has been some people I've looked back on and been more dubious, but I wanted to get my name out there, and, well.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Sorry, I kind of blanked for a second. What did you say?
I just said that there's, you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to get your name out there. It just helps your business and everything.
I think I've made at least one thing for just about everyone on the island, minus Jax and his lot. I've had a few run-ins before he decided to claim himself king. There's a man of his, Liam. He held me and Amos at gunpoint outside the workshop and told me to get him our best equipment, or he'd, and in his words, paint Amos over the side of the workshop. So I complied. He only ended up taking a pistol, but, well, that sort of soured my opinion of his lot. And then he goes and claims himself king, and now I suppose that's not a thing anymore, which is good.
Yeah, I'm hoping everything kind of normalizes again. When I was over there earlier with Riley to kind of see to Jax, because Jax was not in a good place, I guess. He was trying to kill himself, and he tried to take a mind wipe because he just wanted to forget everything that he had done. But he kind of messed with the dosage, so it was a plan that him and Melody were gonna, you know, take them just enough that they could forget a little bit, but not everything. And they wanted Riley to kind of help with the dosage of it, but he just couldn't wait, and he just took a random amount, and Riley had to help him kind of get most of it out of his system. So I don't know how much he still remembers anymore.
Well, something was happening earlier while you were asleep.
Oh?
Well, Liam was on the radio and they were asking after Riley, and I answer, being the only one awake here, mentioning that I could show up, but at the time I was still coming down from the pain medication after Diesel had been working his wonders, and, well, my speech was sort of slurred, and I think that put them off sending me over. Apparently they managed to sort out whatever the issue was anyway, but who knows, it sounds like it's going to be a rough time over there for a while.
Yeah, I imagine they're trying to fit all the pieces back together. Because Jax doesn't look like he's really in the shape to kind of guide people at the moment, and Melody is more or less kind of propping him up. So most of the others look like they're just kind of either doing their own thing or just wading through it.
Why, just a second. I just want to check on
Of course.
Amy. Duo, I'm getting pretty sleepy. I'm gonna have to call it in myself, I think.
Alright, I can see my way out.
It's been nice seeing you again.
Of course. Anytime. I'm probably just gonna go out and hunt for a little bit.
Okay, don't get bitten by any ants, okay?
Of course. I'll do my best. This armor should hopefully keep anything from getting into my skin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I should hope so.
I mean, you made it, so...
Some of the better stuff I've made, I think, too, so...
Alright, well, just take it easy, Jade. If you need anything, holler for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. Don't worry about that.
Alright, well, I'll let you get to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Good hunting.
Alright. I like this backpack. Pretty fucking cool. What's happening? Okay. Yeah, still got my radio on. Oh. That was the pen.
User disconnected from your channel.
Okay. Might have. I'm entering the right pin. I'm not sure what's up with it. They punch it in manually. Huh.
Microphone activated.
This become very interesting situation.
Sorry, what?
I I might be locked in Riley's base.
Well, that sounds like a problem for me.
The thing is,
Do you need Ivar to come pass with the
I
flamethrower?
don't, unless you can burn a door down, I don't think so. Okay, there it
I wish
goes.
you
What the
could.
fucking gate thing? I don't know what it is with their gate.
I wish you could burn down houses.
You know,
in this game.
I'm kind of wish the same thing. I imagine that effect would be kind of cool. Okay, I don't know what it is with the keep gate.
I mean, Ivar just discovered flamethrowers, so it would probably be a bad idea in hindsight.
Well, I mean, one of the first things that Marcus did when we started making flame arrows and oil jars is that he set our fucking house on fire with them. Like, you jackass. I'm still working on building stuff, and you trying to burn it down already. Yeah,
I mean, Ivar burned an alpha rep to death.
yeah, you mentioned you did that twice now.
Yep.
But I went up to the keep gate and I entered the
Great
I entered the pin code and it just like beeped at me like it was wrong, and I entered it several times and it just kept going.
Yeah, it
I was
does
like,
that.
this is the right code.
You gotta leave it for a minute
Yeah,
to do it.
it seemed to be malfunctioning. I don't know why it does that. That's a super weird bug.
It's a bug in the keep door.
How long has that been in there?
Not a clue. I feel like going into the Castaway Ohio channel, yelling at Valdia.
Yo, Terrorbird, fuck off. I don't give a shit about you. Go away. God, fucking asshole animals.
What game should I play today? But not off ARK tonight, because all the rest of them are offline.
How many people are on the server at the moment? I can't check.
I don't know. I'll tell you if I do. Fucking yawn.
I'll pull it up real quick. There's 7 people on the server. There we go. Yeah, I might just go around in character hunting some animals for a little bit. I'll probably go back to my cabin, log off for the night. I just want to
Fair
make
enough.
use of some of these weapons that I haven't got to use a whole lot. 'Cause, I got a really nice fabricated sniper rifle and compound bow that I don't get to use a whole lot. I've used the sniper on raptors a couple times because raptors seem to get between me and my mount half the time. They're just very quick at putting them down.
Oh, fucking Liam was teaching Ivar to shoot the
Oh
other
boy.
day. They did something, and then Ivar just spins around and looses off a shot. Liam's like, "What the fuck are you doing shooting at me?" And then he turns around, and it turns out I shot a raptor that was attacking his bird. He's like, "Oh, good job."
Yeah,
So yeah, they're teaching the bloodthirsty berserker Viking how to use a whole host of
yeah. I
weapons.
imagine that's gonna be fantastic for everybody else on the island.
Great for you. Well, I mean, if I end up in Jax, maybe. I've successfully indoctrinated Jax enough about the
Oh
gods
no.
that he wants to go to Valhalla, so he wants Ivar to kill him.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that part, and you were like, "I'll get back to you on that. Let you think on it or something." Oh, what the?
Yeah,
Okay.
but Ivar's fucking torn on that. Because on the one hand, Jax is the one that took him in. He doesn't really want
Yeah.
to kill him. But on the other end, he doesn't want to lose honor by
Yeah,
refusing
I imagine that's a
mercy
double-edged
combat.
sword at this point.
Yeah, he's probably gonna accept the fight. Just beat shit out of him until the point where he says, like, "Yo, I actually want to live," and he's like, "Good,
Or in the
good."
rare case that he kills you.
Yeah, that's also probably gonna happen.
Well, I was gonna go hunting, but it got really fucking dark really quick, and I can't see 2 feet in front of me.
Hunting for Ivars, perhaps.
I might grab the night vision. That just might help a little bit more.
I want some.
Let's see. Where is... Yeah. Luckily, the durability on night vision lasts quite a while. Yeah, it's compared to like a scuba tank, yeah, they last quite a while. At least this one does. It's got 140 durability on it.
Even though they had durability.
Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, they have durability because of, just like scuba tanks, they lose durability over usage. So the longer you have them on, they'll go down over time. That was a bear cat just fucking sitting right there. Okay. Go the other way.
I'll be back in a
Alright.
bit. Go annoy Veldin. Loves me.
User left your channel. User joined your channel.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Can't tell if these guys have their wyverns set to wander, because it's just kind of walking around the base. Or if there's somebody on it. It's so dark, I can't tell. I should probably check on my dragon that I've left in this tree for a couple days. Imagine it's a little hungry. No ants. I see you coming a mile away in the dark. Go away. Ah. This. How are you doing? Your food's actually fine, even though your food's all gone now. So, I'm gonna leave some. There we go. Hey, Jade.
So what would you say Duo's opinion of Jax is?
At the moment, uh, kind of conflicting because on one hand, kind of hates him because of the whole making everybody kind of go into hiding ordeal, and then on the other hand, he's also kind of sorry for him because he kind of understands half the shit that he's going through. Holy fucking shit, Murder Stowe is really bad right now. Like, I was losing like 3 health a second. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah,
You get health.
well, I mean, normally I could fly through it and I'll lose maybe 1 health a second, which is not too bad. But I mean, it was dropping fast. I was like, nope, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, there's murder snow and there's been a murder.
Well, I mean,
snow.
yeah, I'll fly through even the murder snow, but for some reason, like tonight, it's like super bad. Like it seems to depend on like the time of day, because sometimes it'll be like really bad, and you're like don't want to even touch it, and then other times it's not too bad. I've got about 400 HP, so it won't kill me. And yeah, the riot gear's probably not helping any, but
Yeah, I've got 400 health. Well, Duo and Ava would be a good fight.
yeah, that depends on if I nick you with a compound bow arrow, though. From this really, really nice.
Depends on if he gets
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I'm pretty good at kiting as well, and the compound bow is one of my best tools. And the one that Jade made me is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, I still have the shot. Because arming.
I don't think I've got any melee
my
weapons at all of any kind.
Oh, fuck. Don't get close to me.
Well, I mean, I've got a shotgun for that reason.
Yeah. He's got a flamethrower.
Yeah. At that point, I'd rather just stay back and fire metal arrows.
Yeah. I'll be back in a bit.
Jesus Christ, my health is... Yeah, I've like lost 25 health in about the span of 5 seconds. Good lord. Yeah, that dragon back there was that platform was the original hideout that I had, because I wanted something close and also something to hide a dragon. The time of day, it's almost. I might swing a little bit up north. Nobody responded to me on the radio, so I don't think anybody's really paying attention. Or they're busy. Maybe I'll hunt a griffin. That could be fun. Hunt a griffin. Oh, there's one. Speak of the devil. How good are you? Alright. You're trying to kill the horses that you can't damage. Put you over here. Hmm. Oh, what a shot! 3 arrows. Take down a griffin. Damn. This bow is sick. Let me harvest it with the griffin so I can get the organic meat. Nice. That was pretty fun. I still have a whole bunch of arrows. Oh, there's another griffin. Level 20. Okay. There's another griffin, but that one's walking. Oh, okay. I guess I'll call all the weak ones, so I guess better ones might spawn. There we go. Wait. Son of a bitch. Alright, might have been a little friendly fire there. Didn't realize that was my own bird. He'll walk it off, it's fine. Totally didn't just shoot my own bird in the face with the compound bow a couple times. Damn, that bow freaking wrecks mounts. Good lord. Oh, you're set to neutral, son of a bitch, that's why. Okay, you sit there. Stop trying to help me. You're not helping. I literally thought it was this griffin that was, coming after me. Damn. Yeah, this bow does serious damage. I just hate that I can't recover the metal arrows. They're a little bit expensive, but that's whatever. I have 750 of them, so... Where did the griffins in this canyon go? They were actually nice griffins. Probably wanted to. Are they still in the same spot? Yep, there's one of the 130s. I think that's the brown one. Where did the red one go? That was the very pretty one. Oh, that might be it right there. That's a 100. Where'd the 140 go? The 145, I can't remember what it was. Not that one. Obviously not that one. Oh. Huh. Welcome back. Yeah, I decided that I was gonna start hunting some of the griffins. Get some different ones to spawn up, I guess.
Fair enough.
There's a bunch of like weak ones out here, and this bow destroys griffins pretty badly. At one point, I didn't realize that the griffin I was shooting at was actually my own mount. I felt kind of stupid. Totally thought it was the second griffin in the nearby area that I just somehow aggroed, but nope, it was mine. Trying to figure out where this red griffin went.
Well, I won't accuse you of being a genius.
Ah, I ran out of stamina, of course. In the same exact spot that Riley freaking fell off her griffin. And she was she was out here looking for, I think, griffins or something. Because there was like there's a 130 and like a 145 or something out here. And the 145 is like red and black. Can't find it though.
Nice.
Either somebody already got it or it wandered off.
Gonna head off
All right.
tonight. Chill, boots. To Braveheart last night. Let's go.
Cutting out a lot. Yeah, I said you're cutting out a lot.
That's probably fine. So, probably be on tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see what crazy stuff happens tomorrow.
So crazy stuff. Kick off tomorrow.
Oh boy. Alright.
See you, dude.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yeah, let's see how long till people start dying before it happens. I kind of want to do a cave. I don't want to do a cave by myself, but I don't know. Maybe I'll pick an easy one. That could be something fun to do. I need to make grappling hooks though, just in case. I can't find that griffin. There's no telling where it's gone. Well, I'm not talking about tonight. I'm talking about tomorrow. There's no telling what's going to happen tomorrow, and I imagine at some point before too long, Jax may not live. Assuming I don't do anything stupid, I should be fine. That's assuming, of course. Yeah, let me pull up a list of actual dungeons. Yeah, I got that feeling like when we were talking the first time, I was like, he seems like he's gonna kill himself before too long. And yeah, here we go. Or I should probably just hit dungeons tab here. Yeah, here we go. Oh, this is a completely different thing. Oh, is there only 2 dungeons? Yeah. I don't plan to. Well, I mean, I don't plan to, but at the same time, it can still happen because this character is still open to being like permadeath at if the situation arises where he can be permadeath, there's a chance that it'll happen. But I'm not gonna let it happen if it doesn't feel right. Like it's got to be the right situation, essentially. So, yeah, I just always kind of put it like that. Yeah, it seems like there's only, at least the way this is listed, there's only actually 2 dungeons. Maybe wrong. Because, from what it's telling me, it's the one with the lava elemental, and it's the other one with the ice queen. Stimulants, pikes, canteens, lesser antidotes, mega rabies, flak armor, high quality guns, and explosives. Uh, yeah. Man, you have no idea how Duo would have reacted if Jade had died, shortly before he was gonna tell her his feelings and everything, because he would have completely lost it at that point. He had just finished talking to Riley about Jade, and we had like a whole conversation, and we were on the way to you, and you had stopped talking. I'm like, this is not happening right now. This is the worst timing. If she dies, this is not gonna end well. Like, you've seen Ragnar go crazy, but I don't think you've seen my character go crazy. He he loses it. Yeah, I imagine that didn't help either. Oh, good lord. Oh, is that what this is? Okay. Yeah, there's also the Labyrinth, which is the dungeon in the desert. Uh, a button room, fire statue room, a jumping puzzle, a loot crate room, a maze full of titanoboas, spiders, and centipedes, the water tunnel, and then a circular maze full of bats, spiders, titanoboas, scorpions, apparently traps that throw out smoke grenades, poison grenades, normal grenades, and centipedes. In addition to these traps, there are hidden spikes in the floors that will immediately kill you should you fall into those. Oh, yes, that sounds lovely. Oh boy. Yeah, I imagine us tackling that wouldn't be very fun. Uh, a small tunnel with shooting traps on the ceiling, jumping pillars, uh, bring a climbing pick since you can't use grappling hooks, or a tech chest piece. Sacrifice room, where you need to make a sacrifice to further progress. If you sacrifice a dino, a shoulder pet, the left door opens. Next up is a dark tunnel. If you sacrifice a human, the right door opens. Next up are closing, moving walls, and 2 red drops in them. Both ways lead to the Oasis, which is the main artifact room, which has Megaloceros, or Megaloceros, the artifact of the Devious, and the artifact of the Massive behind a barrier. To disable a barrier, players must defeat spirits, the Dire Bear, the Dire Wolf, and the if the spirits aren't present, then attack the Megaloceros, and they shall appear in order to get them to spawn. After killing the spirits, the message will appear saying the spirits are calmed, the borders vanish, and the artifacts can now be achieved. The exit to this room of the dungeon is now accessible via the large water grate. Wow, this sounds like a nightmare of a fucking dungeon. Good lord. Yeah, it's recommending that you take a flamethrower with you. I imagine that would be very useful here. I may need to get Jade to make me one at some point. I think it's the only weapon that's not in my arsenal. Multiple people might be required because it says you need to split into 2 groups. This isn't like something you can do solo, it looks like. I'm looking at the map of it. It looks like a nightmare. I think you guys do, or you might now, only because I know Zoe threw a whole bunch of blueprints to Jackie at one point, so may have to check. Climb up the walls in the oyster fighting its easy bug repellent can help you in parts where there are creatures such as bats. Alright. Yeah, I'm just checking out the dungeon stuff. It doesn't really look like anything safe that I can tackle without getting myself killed. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go around and hunt some things for a bit. I'll do dungeons when we actually have people. Besides, who's gonna fall in the lava if not Jackie? I have to clip that moment too because it was pretty funny. Our little dungeon expedition was quite fun. Yep, you as well. Oh, there was a lag spike. That's why stuff wasn't loading. I don't know about the fertilizer on half this. Alright, so one of the bags is emptied out, so that should last for a short while anyways. It's weird seeing all this in yellow when I built all of this. There's my house. There's what's left of my house. What remains. I don't know how well topped off the food is. Looks like nothing died. Plant turrets look fine. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. I come in. I come in anyways. Then just pull out C4 and just blow my way through. uh... Wonder if these turrets are functional. Ooh, alpha. That would be fun. How over you? 95. Okay. That was a 145. Wow, I killed him quick. Ah, fucking Prolovias, man. Can you, like, not be chipping away at 200 HP a swing? What the flying fuck? It's a 145, too. Goddamn asshole. Where'd the freaking alpha go? That was another alpha down here. Well, you keep falling, I guess. Don't fall in the water. Oh. Hello, every raptor in existence. Nope, nope, nope. Take a risk, take a risk. Woo! Fuck you, raptor bitches, I'm out. How do you call your numbers? Y'all are becoming a problem. Alright, you, Fighting from Griffinback. The compound bow. Pretty badass. Wow. 2 metal arrows just fired straight into the water. Well, 2 more metal arrows straight into the water. Oh, you fucker! You literally turned. Got him. Nice. I think most of those bodies sank. Did see another alpha up here. The 2 alphas? I'm hitting one of them. They're spitting. They got stuck in a logic loop. Come on. No way I'm missing this many. Alright, assholes. They're both hurt. How are you guys not dead? Not even remotely. Why am I tethered? Why can't I fly away? I'm being pulled back to the ground here. Something's wrong. I think I just wasted a whole lot of ammo. Alright, I think they're bugged. Because it doesn't look like they're actually dying. Yeah, I wanted to pick up... Oh. Yeah, I wasted a whole lot of ammo on them, and they don't look like they're taking any damage. I don't think I got enough ammo to kill an alpha. Especially a Carno. Oh! I think I found a really nice shotgun there. I'll have to show it to you later, Jade. 120 and 391 durability. You can probably make something out of that. I haven't seen Maxwell in a little while. Do not move. Even Dodo, shame. Tweedle, dumb. I can actually tear these down now. Oh, hello. Ah, Jackies. Or Jock, or whatever is, however you pronounce his name. This guy has to be his house, then. If he's got a freaking Anthropleura hiding in the background. Just making sure all these got fertilizer. Looks like they're doing well. These look like they need more. They're probably gonna die soon. Yeah, pretty soon. That one probably needs more. This thing. That one's pretty. I like this one. The, orange and white. Yeah, I get why you called that one Toad. Yeah, I'm going back to his, name. And nobody's been in this workshop for a while. Alright, I think I'm done for the night. I just gotta get back to my house and put up my gear and everything. I don't think that's gonna cook, so I might as well beat it back for HP. Wow, it's not even remotely as good as raw meat. Alright, we'll hit. I'm losing HP like a motherfucker. Look at that HP drop. Yeah, if you had 100 HP, you'd be getting killed out here quick. I'll have to go up and change her later. Not fly directly into my house. Get out of here. Generally means fly another direction. There you go. Let's see. Oh. No, that one goes. Blueprints. My armor actually took a little bit of a beating there. Polymer, pearls, hide, and fiber. Imagine fabric. Oh, and crystal as well. I think we still have plenty of that. Yeah, I guess I'll have to go out and farm both of those later. Plenty of hide. I'll probably throw some extra in there just to be safe. I'll probably use that gunpowder to make some more bullets. Yeah, I need polymer and pearls. Alrighty then. Well. Just in the event that something wants to munch on my fucking bird. You sit up there. Alrighty. Oh. Walk around. Alright. More stuff tomorrow.